Welcome to The Explainer. So, you know that sci fi dream we've all been sold? The fully autonomous factory? Just a sprawling facility humming along perfectly. No lights on, no climate control, and absolutely zero human beings on the floor. It's this vision of pure, uninterrupted robotic precision that's supposed to revolutionize how literally everything in our world is made. But is that actually the reality of modern manufacturing? Today, we're unpacking why, despite billions of dollars being poured into AI and robotics, human hands are actually still secretly running the show.
Gartner recently put out this projection, and it paints a very specific picture. They're estimating that by 2026, about 60% of manufacturers will adopt some form of lights-out manufacturing. And honestly, it's pretty easy to see why that narrative is so believable. I mean, over in Japan, Nuke has been running a plant since 2001 where robots are literally building other robots. They run in complete darkness for 30-day stretches without a single human stepping foot on the floor, pumping out like 50 robots every single shift. You hear a story like that and you think, well, the future's already here, right? Well, prepare for a massive rug pull. According to a 2025 Deloitte survey on smart manufacturing, a staggering 80% of U.S. factory facilities currently operate with absolutely zero automation. None. Zip. The vast majority of our industrial base is still entirely dependent on human labor, and that is happening while AI vendor hype is literally at an all-time peak.
Okay, let's dive into this, because we are dealing with some massive cognitive dissonance across the industrial world right now. On one side, you've got the peak hype of tech vendors promising fully autonomous production, pitching these dark factories that just run themselves. But then on the other side, you have the messy, day-to-day reality of the actual shop floor. So why is there such a massive gap between this expectation of full automation and what manufacturers are actually deploying?
A quick look at the most advanced facilities brilliantly illustrates exactly what's going on. Let's take the flagships, the most famous, highly automated plants in the world. Even they explicitly rely on humans. Take the Siemens Ambert plant in Germany. It is a marvel. They produce 15 million parts a year with an insane 99.99% quality rate. But they intentionally maintain a 75-25 split between automation and human workers. Humans are still required for the initial material loading and for investigating those really weird edge case defects. Even at that famous Fanuc plant, humans are the ones doing the high-level programming and tool calibration. And at Tesla's gigafactories, human workers are constantly stepping in for flexible wiring and robotic recalibration. Across the board, it's always the same story. Automation handles the predictable, but humans have to handle the exceptions. Section 1. Where robots actually fail. The engineering limits. So why exactly do these billion-dollar robots still need us to hold their hands? It ultimately boils down to rigidity. When a robot is dealing with rigid objects, say stamping a steel car door or welding a metal chassis, automation absolutely thrives. The geometries are totally predictable, and today you can automate about 80 to 95% of those processes. But then consider deformable materials, things like soft hoses, fabrics, and wiring harnesses. Because these materials bend and flex unpredictably, they have what engineers call infinite dimensional nonlinear dynamics. And because of that, automation feasibility drops right off a cliff to below 10%. In fact, over 90% of wire harness manufacturing across the globe is still done strictly by hand today. Let's actually break down the physics of why this is so incredibly hard for a machine. When a robot tries to bend a multi-conductor cable, which in robotics is known as a deformable linear object, the mechanical strain on the outside of that bend is a ridiculously complex physics problem. It involves the strand diameter and the dynamic bend radius. If a robotic gripper applies just a fraction of an ounce too much force, it permanently damages the delicate wires inside. Us humans, we solve this math instantly with just our tactile intuition. We just feel the tension and adjust our grip in milliseconds. Current machine vision and robotic grippers are completely stumped by it. Which leads us directly into the rigidity trap. When Tesla tried to fully automate the Model 3 assembly line, they tried to force robots to handle these highly flexible variable materials, and it backfired. The robotic grippers just couldn't adapt to slight physical variations, which caused machine jams, misaligned panels, and massive line stoppages. It was such a severe production bottleneck that Elon Musk actually came out and conceded that excessive automation at Tesla was a mistake, and noted that humans are, in fact, underrated. The takeaway here? Machines execute known procedures flawlessly, but they completely lack the judgment required the second a minor physical anomaly happens. Section 2. The missing software link. The MES integration gap. Now, what's really interesting is when we pivot from hardware limitations to a hidden software chasm that is quietly bottlenecking true factory autonomy.
A recent Rockwell Automation report dug into manufacturing execution systems, or MES. This is a software layer that tracks and controls all the production on the factory floor, and the data is wild. Almost everyone, 93% of manufacturers, has an MES. The software is literally in the building, but 70% haven't fully integrated it across their enterprise. Only 23% actually have a fully integrated system. So we've bought the tools, but we completely lack the integration discipline to make them talk to each other.
And what does this software disintegration actually cost on the floor? It creates massive isolated data silos. Think about it. When a machine detects an anomaly, if it's not integrated with the rest of the software stack, that critical alert just sits isolated in some vendor's dashboard. It literally requires a human to manually walk over, extract it, and reconcile it. Without a connected ecosystem, those shiny, expensive AI tools are starved of the clean, real-time data they need to function. You can't exactly run predictive maintenance if the data's trapped in a silo. So once again, human workers have to constantly act as the bridge between disconnected systems. So, once again,
Section 3. Humans on the Loop. The Light's Sparse Future. So the pragmatic resolution to all of this is what's becoming known as the Light's Sparse Factory. It perfectly balances the ROI of automation. Instead of burning billions trying to automate the impossible, smart manufacturers are just isolating specific, highly predictable cells, stuff like heavy stamping or CNC milling, and letting them run unattended overnight. Then, during the day shift, skilled human teams step in. They handle the complex changeovers, the edge case quality audits, and the flexible assembly of totally new products. It keeps the boring, highly repetitive, and dangerous tasks for the robots while leveraging human adaptability exactly where it counts most. Let's see how this builds a completely new kind of workforce. We're talking about strategic job redesign. The worker is evolving. They start at step 1 as a manual laborer, just executing physical tasks. Then they move to step 2, the human in the loop, overseeing and assisting the robots. And finally, they arrive at step 3, the human on the loop. Here, the human is elevated to a cognitive orchestrator. They are the supervisor of physical AI and the ultimate data interpreter. And this shift is absolutely crucial because we are staring down a crisis of 2.1 million unfilled manufacturing jobs by 2030. We don't just need more hands on the line. We desperately need human intelligence guiding machine precision.
So the crucial question we really have to ask ourselves as we look towards 2026 and beyond is this: are we building factories for robots, or are we building tools for humans? The evidence from the smartest, most advanced factories in the world shows us that the most efficient, resilient manufacturing model isn't one that completely removes people. Not at all. It's one that fundamentally relies on human ingenuity to guide and optimize the incredible precision of machines. The robots are amazing for sure, but your tactile intuition and your cognitive judgment, that is still the ultimate killer app. Thanks for diving into this explainer with me, and I'll catch you next time.